Hello Capsuleers, my name is CCB Logibro, and I am one of the CSM coordinators here at CCB Games. The elections for the 12th Council of Stenable Management start soon on March 6, and CCB encourage you to get involved and vote for those candidates you feel are best equipped to represent the players and advise CCB on EVE's development. Today, I'll be explaining how the voting system works, and showing you how to use the online voting portal to cast your vote into the tally. Even if you've voted in the past, you should watch this video, as you might learn something new or at least get a better understanding of how the voting works. All of the CSM resources are available in the CSM section of the EVE Online community portal, which can be found by visiting csm.eveonline.com. During an election, there are two relevant pages, the candidates page and the voting page. The candidates page can be accessed by clicking candidates on the left-hand menu bar. Here you can find a complete listing of candidates running in the current election. The order of candidates is randomly picked each time the page is loaded, and you can click on a candidate to find out more about them and their platform. Once you have done looking at the various candidates and determining which ones you like most, you can then move on to voting. The voting page can be accessed by clicking Vote on the left-hand menu bar. From here, you can...
Well, I broke the video.
Are we live?
And I broke the sound, but we fixed everything. Except the video. Video's broken. It's ruined.
My whole day's ruined.
Forget about it. Anyways, welcome to My Clash Podcast, episode 27, CSM voting time.
All the votes. Hello, Mindclash Nation. This is Kale Decadence. We will not be joined this evening by Jar Jar Kale. I left him in Georgia, and he won't be here tonight.
Would you consider that a good night of drinking or a bad night of drinking?
It felt good at the time, but it was pretty painful when I was listening to the edit. I was like, oh my god, what was going on? Like, there was a point where I think it was right before we talked about fighters, and then that's about it as far as I go.
Hello Capsuleers.
Well, I'm Meredud, and thank you all for coming to watch. We have two great guests here tonight. Regular long-time guest, Commander A's.
Please.
And new to the show, from my old corp, Lord Alliance. Not my corp, I was in Carbon Fleet. But jumps all over Eve, Suetonia.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Not too much. A bit tired because I've been up so long since it's the CSM day today, and I was working a long time yesterday.
Oh man, that sucks. What time zone are you in?
I'm in the UK time zone. It's actually almost 3:30 in the morning right now.
Oh, bless your heart.
Okay, we're gonna ask you tons of really challenging, really toe-stepping questions. Or not. Probably not.
So if you could, real quick, Suetonia, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in EVE.
Oh, I'm Suetonia. I'm mostly a solo/small gang PvPer. I guess I'm most well known for doing sort of new player-focused PvP content in normally cheap ships or ships that take very low SP to fly. I put videos out on my YouTube channel. I do videos for the EVE is Easy YouTube channel, and I also stream.
Yep. I've seen a few of your videos. Good stuff.
I need some lessons apparently tonight. Well, great. Az, you want to do an intro anyways?
Absolutely. I'm Commander A's. I'm a high-sec C2 Wormhole Alliance executor for Lin Kuei Korgake, which is a overall awesome group to fly with. I'm also a Spectre Fleet FC, in addition to a what I would consider to be a major league industrialist.
Excellent.
So tonight we got some interesting stuff. There's some news, half news, half truths, EVE news, EVE Onion news type stuff. First, the official news. Official news is that there actually is going to be a Cormorant redesign, which looks pretty nifty.
Yeah, they announced this back on the last 07 show, but they released a video today of the all the new animations in Warp. A couple of fighting. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I like those animations where like the wings fold out and stuff like that, or you can actually see components that kind of fold in as it's going into warp. That's always pretty neat. But yeah, so that's the official news. Cormont looks good, and then there was a lot of non-news. Apparently, somebody over at CCP, I don't know who it was, might have accidentally updated their updates.eveonline.com website, and they weren't supposed to. So they immediately took it down, but not before people got screenshots.
Once it goes on the internet, it's on there forever.
Forever. So I guess we could talk a little bit about what went on there before it immediately got pulled down.
Yeah, some highbrow shows have decided not to discuss the topics, but we are not one of those shows.
Yeah, not these people. So speaking of redesigns, even though the Cormont is official, there's a Vexor and Ishtar redesign, speculated, rumored. I mean, which would be cool because I love the Vexor, love the Ishtar.
Yeah, I fly a lot of those ships. I'm glad they're going to get a little bit of a rework. They look okay now, but I think they're kind of boring compared to the new fancy animations and graphics they're applying to most of the new ship models.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they don't really change it too much. I think they're just going to do those transitional animations and stuff like that. Maybe smooth it out a little bit.
It'd be cool if they do something with like how drones enter and exit the ship.
Yeah, I've always thought that too, but I think that might be too minute of a detail for them to actually, show the teeny tiny drones popping out through like a shield, like a little shield effect. The shield opens up in the bay and they pop out.
It'd be cool if they maybe did that for the Chimera model, which they've just recently remade as well, and then they extended that out to the new drone models. I mean, they have like tagged undock points for all the Citadels, right? It would just be similar, maybe?
Maybe. TM.
Dev works? I don't know.
Yeah. So did you guys, from my recollection, I don't know, you talked about the Project Discovery last week?
We glossed over it, but we should dive into it some more.
So that's pretty neato stuff. So whereas last time when Project Discovery first rolled out, it was trying to classify, was it genes, viruses, bugs? What was it? Genomes, right?
It was cells. It was slices of cells. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we
specifically protein functions in cells, identifying exactly what types and where they were located.
Right. So if biology's not your bag, then maybe searching for exoplanets might be.
Well, biology is my bag, and I found that game interesting and complicated, but exoplanets is definitely like cutting edge of today, fun, cool.
Yeah, it's
science.
cool too because they're actually teamed up with NASA, if I recall, right?
Yeah, I think they know somebody who works there.
Some guy named Space Pope.
I was going to call him a holy big deal.
Holy big deal. Yeah, cool. So some other things they put in that little non-updates page, they're going to have a rebalance to strategic cruisers. So that's the Tech 3 cruisers. Again, it's just speculation. Who knows what they're going to do, but they're going to look at those things.
Well, that was in the CSM minutes as something that was discussed at the summit.
Yes. Correct.
And
Yeah, I think CCP is kind of unhappy with them right now since they tend to be just blobs of stats rather than like more of a generalized role which they have in mind for T3s.
Yeah, like I feel when I'm engaging a T3 that I never know what I'm going to get into, and it's always going to be bad or it's going to be terrible. Like it's either 30,000 HP and it dies instantly, or it's 250,000 HP and I'm never going to kill it.
Space magic, man.
I think there's been a lot of complaints over the time that they're good at almost everything. They're good in null, they're good in wormholes, they're good in low. They can fight up, they can fight down, they can boost, they can do logi.
Yeah, I use the Tengu quite a bit for a lot of different things. You can use it for ratting, you can use it for probing, you can use it for just about anything.
Yeah, and then I think the worst part about that is it can do it all well. Like,
Yeah. Whether you want to do rails or you want to do missiles, drones, however you want to make it, it'll do it.
hold on, what's your drone T3?
What?
I don't think that's a drone one.
Not for Tengus.
Or you can put like a drone subsystem on a Proteus or Legion, but I don't think those subsystems are really all that good.
I use it for Proteuses, but not very often.
The more you know.
Anywho, so moving quite along. Asteroid fields. We're gonna do new asteroid things. Cool, but it's not gonna be a visual effect. They're actually talking about changing the way in which asteroids belts populate. I'm guessing, or how they're accessed.
Yeah, I've seen that there's been a lot of discussion, I think, with the Rorqual changes about, the sort of the infinite resources in nullsec with the anomaly ore mining belts. Because right now, as soon as you mine out the belt, it instantly respawns after 5 seconds.
Right.
And so right now, I guess there's a balance concern because you can just have 30 Rorquals in one dead-end system that's completely bubbled, and you never have to leave that system ever. And it sort of devalues the ore market everywhere else. So I'm not sure. There's not really any kind of prospecting right now when it comes to mining. There's never any let's maybe check out this belt and find the good stuff. There's always just just mine it out completely, refresh, mine it out completely, refresh.
So what you're saying is blame everything on the Rorqual.
Yeah, you mean you can blame Rorquals. You can also blame
let's just blame it.
Doom Chinchilla as well because he's Team Rorqual.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously. That makes sense. But yeah, so I guess CCP is tired of space magic and doesn't want asteroid fields to just instantly appear out of nowhere. Imagine that.
Well, they have.
It would also be.
Go ahead.
Let's say it would also be cool maybe if you could get Mega Site and Zydrine maybe in low sec and higher sec as well as like really rare spawns or something, instead of all of the ores being set in place as they are now.
Yeah, I found that sometimes in high sec when you see it'll say something like maybe a large amber deposit or something like that. You'll sometimes find those rare ones in it, but it's not often. Not very often at all.
Yeah, I think like with the real world science that we're bringing in of exoplanets, and there's so many people who are engaged in like geeking out over space. Asteroid belts are supposed to be just massive, right? Like, and super not dense. Like not dense the way Eve, Planet 6, Moon, or Planet 6 Belt 3 is super dense with asteroids, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be huge. It's supposed to stretch the whole system. It's supposed to be like big clumps of rocks you can find and track down. And if they're going to have like these fields, asteroid fields, that with the grid sizes the way they are now, they could spread them out over 1,000 kilometers if they wanted. And
ooh, what if you had to scan them down?
No, I don't think they're going to go back to scanning them down. That's the way it used to be for ore anomalies, right?
What?
Yeah, back in the day, you had to scan down the ore anomalies and then warp into them.
No, it's before my time.
It was really hard to roam those anomalies because you had to bring probes, and it gave an extra layer of defense against the roaming gangs.
Nice.
At the time of the original change, when ore anomalies were added, people just roamed those ore anomalies with scepters and found mining barges just like enjoying their ore mining anomalies.
Cool. All right. So another thing we want to look at real quick, if you want to, the operations center, which is going to be part of the new NPE. Is that going to be kind of like God? What is that? Not like the opportunities, kind of like that.
Yeah, I think it's the next step beyond the new player experience as it currently has been reworked. And it's supposed to work like the Opportunity Center to push you towards what do you want to explore more of in the game.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here, it says new player experience improvements, the Operations Center. In an effort to further improve new pilot orientation and facilitate more structured learning, a new user interface will be introduced for the new player experience in New Eden, allowing rookie capsuleers to track their progress, review what they've learned, and choose more advanced areas of study. So I know they did talk about in the minutes that they wanted to maybe change the career agent model. So that probably will tie into that. They're talking about, maybe instead of having the advanced military and the, all the, what was it, like 8 different paths, they would kind of like bring it down to 3 or 4.
Yeah. It sounds like there is also like an achievement system layered into that somewhere.
Yeah, it kind
Oh.
of sounds like they're trying to sort of improve the UI so that it's easier for them to add on more content. Because right now, a lot of the old career agents are like completely outdated.
Super outdated.
I think it's a good opportunity for them to start fixing some stuff up in there.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, once they
definitely
have this
necessary.
structure in place, once they have the structure in place, it's a lot easier, I think, for them to just tack on more stuff. It works kind of like in a modular way, kind of, if they want to add like another class on, it's very easy for them to do that. Whereas in the current system, it's kind of weird and janky. So hopefully it will help the MP out a lot.
Yeah, do you find, Kale, with new players who are hanging around in newbie help chat, are they like struggling through the transition between the new player experience and the career agents currently?
So some of the issue that they're having now is what they've always had, and it's, they're trying to either find the shortcut way to do it, or they're just getting the instruction of, hey, go get this kind of mineral, or go mine this asteroid, and they go try and figure it out online, like, where do I find this, or and then they'll end up in low sec somewhere and get blowed up. So there's still a lot of confusion as far as the wording goes, and some of the like a lot of it has never been simple. It's been very vague, and like you'll undock and you'll warp to the point that you're supposed to go to, and you'll find that it's not there, or something's bugging out. So it's same old. But I mean, hopefully it'll get better. I haven't played it, the new stuff, since they've done the last iteration of the NPE though. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, I thought I just stopped talking. Nobody was there. Error.
No, right.
Oh, I unplugged my mic. That's what happened.
Cool. So yeah, so NPE, hopefully there's some improvements. I'm looking forward to see what the operations center is looking like. I'm really interested in what is this battle stations thing. It says battle stations renovation, but I don't even know what a battle station is to begin with to renovate from.
You know how they were...
Is that a thing?
I think it's NPC structures in missions. Like they have the old like Angel Catal battle station or something, which is like a minimized Mimitar station model.
Oh, is that for like faction warfare, or?
No, I think it's just in PVE sites, like missions or cosmic anomalies and signatures. There's like little stations. It's still kind of like the art inside the missions, the
Okay.
environment. I think
Okay.
that's what it is.
So you're talking about like the stuff where you might see the exotic dancer strip clubs in space.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Love those things. They're the best. Just the best. Anyways, I think we might have lost Mirdud.
Can you hear me now?
Sounds like we have. As long as we're still streaming, right? Anyway, so they did talk about new forums, which was mentioned a little bit in the minutes, and I think DevBlog might have come out about that. Basically, they're just looking at new way to engage the community as far as the forums. But really, the only thing that I hope they add is mobile functionality. Well, I need to find out what's going on here.
That might be tied into the new ESI and enable out-of-game communication, so that even if the game is off, you can actually still find ways to chat with your corp and alliance.
Okay, the apparent issue is Discord. I'm on it.
I think we might have some technical difficulties.
It still seems to be working on Twitch.
Yeah, I see Twitch is still going. But anyways, fuck Merdad. We don't need that guy anyways. So yeah, so new forums, that sounds cool. I wonder if that has to do with the response of what's it called? Star Citizen is talking about you doing they have a new forums and a new chat system which kind of integrates forums into the game user interface. So that looks cool for Star Citizen. Hopefully Eve CCP picks that up and wants to do some stuff like that, because they got that shit really well integrated, if you ask me.
I mean, it might be good for new players too, to be able to, maybe chat in rookie chat or in a MPE help channel while not logged into the game, if you want to ask some questions while you're at work on your lunch break or something.
Yeah. So hopefully with that and the new chat system, I mean, it doesn't really say. Let's see what it says. It says, in an effort to reduce load on the communications network in New Eden, a new chat system is scheduled to be introduced this year, which will improve scalability and ensure that capsuleers can keep in touch even when the Tranquility cluster is offline. So to me, that says, obviously, you're not going to be logged in while they're doing server maintenance. So that means they might take the chat out of game, possibly into the poorly done Eve app.
It would explain why it's taken us 2 years to get the application in the first place.
Yeah, that thing's still not working right. But yeah, hopefully they'll introduce chat into there. We can have forums integrated, and it can all be streamlined and happy. One big happy chit chat family.
Did they fix that up? Or is there still some like corp security things? Because I'm in Karma Fleet right now and I have absolutely no roles. And on the app, it tells me whenever any Karma Fleet POS is going to go offline on the calendar feature, but I have no roles. I should be able to see that.
Yeah, that sounds a little broken. Yeah, there's still a lot of issues with it. I don't use it. I would prefer using Eve Droid beta, which I don't know why it's still beta. I mean, it works just as fine for me. I mean, you can't mail back and forth, but you can see your skills. You can do fittings and all that fun stuff. Who is this? Haas Orland? Is this guy a spammer? I think we're getting DDoSed in the damn Mindclash chat. I'm banning this guy. Anywho. Hold on, I gotta kiss my wife. Anywho, so there's all that fun stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Robert. Oh, so I did a patch last week on, what was it, Thursday? And after they did that extended downtime, I think that was the 3rd. On the 3rd, their rubber banding is back.
Oh, I haven't really noticed any server problems, but I haven't played too much. But I know that it's been pretty awful, like since like 2017, there's been some pretty horrible problems.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully that gets remedied pretty soon. Is it just me, or did they actually have 2 extended downtimes last week? I believe one was on Tuesday and then one was on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I think there was one on Fridays. I remember being March 3rd.
Yeah. So interesting. All the extended downtimes for the CCP/Eve news. Got the 404 troll.
I fixed it.
Oh, hey, just in time to talk about the Kianoki outbreak if you wanted to.
I was always here because no one could hear you if I broke the Discord, so that's amusing.
Oh, no one could hear us?
No, everyone could hear you, and people could hear me on stream, but I couldn't talk to you guys because I broke the Discord on my side.
What a turd.
Ridiculous.
Hey, just so you know, I banned Haas, Orly, and Nard on the chat because he just kept talking weird stuff, and I just thought he was a spammer or a botter. If you know him, I'll unban him.
He seemed like a regular Eve player.
So that's very vague.
I mean, it says a lot.
Thank you, Morgan Starkiller, for hosting us.
The how do you say this? Konote?
Kianote.
Unless Zendane tells me. Zendane, where's Zendane? He should tell me. I know he's listening. Okay, the Kyoto outbreak. This week they announced subtly that they are building a Keepstar off of one of the infected locations, and they are going to do research to solve the problem. This Keepstar is being built by the Society of Conscious Thought, and they're not going to tell us where it is until it's done construction. Seems unfair.
Are we going to be able to destroy it as a community? Let's get behind this. Let's everyone start scouting out all of New Eden and just find this thing.
I think it's going to be the first NPC Keepstar, though.
Ooh, that's going to be fun. As long as it's destructible.
I doubt it.
Come on, man.
But
Content, bro.
Maybe there will be some kind of rebellion as we move towards FanFest, which is only 4 weeks away for most people. We have 4 more weeks of this kind of storyline to develop, where the resolution is going to be resolved at FanFest. So perhaps we get on a storyline of the Empire's rebelling against the Society of Conscious Thought, or maybe the Keepstar gets infected by the Kyoto virus. Maybe players get quests there on a new storyline.
What a time we live in. That'd be great. Let's do some real art. They're gonna have actual like real role playing. Like they're actually hiring like a local company there in Iceland who does like what do you call that stuff?
ARG, alternate reality game.
Okay, that's a new term to me. I was thinking what's the other nerd term? LARPing. There's a place somewhere nearby here in Texas that does LARPing, and someone keeps asking me, "Hey man, you want to go LARP with me?" No, I'm good, bro.
No, ARGs are like they can be any medium. I followed one for like 9 Inch Nails back in like 2004 before their Year Zero album came out. Yeah, it was Year Zero. They had an ARG game with a whole bunch of websites where you had to like find secret clues all over the internet in real life and then put it together into a storyline.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So almost like a scavenger hunt / clue finding thing where you're trying to piece something together online, but using stuff in real IRL in real life.
Yeah.
Dope. That sounds cool, man.
All the FanFest perks if you're going.
Right. Plus the Concord ships.
Those Concord ships.
But at least they're going to be dummied down. They're not going to be full on Concord. That would break Eve.
I mean, CCP is great at releasing completely balanced ships on the first pass.
Yeah. So, anyways, you put something on the show notes about a strange coincidence, and you've linked us to a Z Killboard thing. I'm gonna just pull that up. What are we looking at here?
So this week you might have heard that a Goonswarm Vendetta died.
Okay.
Vendetta is the
Oh, that's
pirates,
the
super
yeah,
uh,
the Nyx.
the pirate Nyx.
Arr.
It died to a PL fleet in Delve. And the strange coincidence was that my group, Iron Armada, we were out in Aquarius stirring up some problems against one of the local groups there. And a Goon response fleet decided to burn down the pipe and take a couple jump bridges and head towards us. And we scouted them probably about 6-8 jumps out. And they were getting 4 jumps out. We were ready to line out. Like, we had 10 guys and they had 50 or 60. We weren't looking for a fight that big. So we started to get safe. And about 4 jumps out, the Z kill notification popped up for the Vendetta dying in Delve. And immediately that fleet turned around and started burning back up the pipe. And we went back to completing our objectives.
Interesting. There was a lot of fights going on this week that I just completely missed because of real life stuff. Actually, not even real life stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been sleeping a lot lately. I get home, literally, I will eat dinner, put the kids to sleep, and take my ass to bed. So my Eve playing has been lacking. I haven't even been waking up early in the morning to do my PI. So my poor little PI farms are sitting there doing nothing right now. I'm a horrible CSM candidate.
Yeah, you gotta sleep less. Look at Suetonia. 24 hours straight, he's CSMing right.
Yeah, what a champ.
Well, I mean, I don't have kids, and I'm a single guy, so it's not quite as easy compared to the other guys you might think. I know kids are a big handful.
Yeah, try having 4.
No, thank you.
I'll let you borrow one if you need
Nope.
to give it a try.
Nope.
Teach him how to make that maple syrup up there, eh?
You can't. Well, I guess you can immigrate, but you gotta walk across the border.
Yeah, I'll take that.
More of the shit talking can obviously be found on a new forum put up this week. Kugu is back from the dead.
Yeah, so it's Kugu. What is the
Kugu
new website?
Kugumitsu?
It's Kugutsumin, I think. I don't know. I think it's based on a hentai thing. I don't know.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right, so that thing just popped up. Kugu's. God damn it, I can't say that. Kugu 2.0. So it's a new thing. I guess if you want to check it out, I logged into it. I don't know what I'm gonna do there, but just another one of those ways to shit talk about Eve. I don't know. I'm not even familiar with the original Kugu.
I know it was like a melting pot for all of like the high-end shit-talking Eve players who really wanted to go make a pass at their favorite enemy. Pretty much like shit posting on Reddit, plus like the something awful forums.
Okay, so I'll be sure to avoid that.
It's more like Reddit Eve, but without the forum moderation.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow. Well, that leaves us with our spotlight of this week. Obviously, if you are listening to the show and haven't realized the CSM voting starts today, congratulations. You now know that the CSM voting starts today, March 6th. And everyone is putting out their ballots and who they're voting for, and the block ballots are coming out. And, I mean, we got 3 CSM hopefuls right here. Are you
I
anxious?
think we got some
excited?
interesting placements on the ballots.
We got a couple here, and I can read off. A lot of these ballots were leaked. Apparently, this year's theme is "Share Your Ballots," which isn't something for previous years. So the Imperium ballot was announced as Aerith, Innominate, Sullen, Jintan, the Judge, Sutonia, Yuko Kami, Railroad, Commander A's, and Dancool 1001. Now, just keep in mind that there are 10 candidates going to make it onto CSM this week, so all these ballot lists are 10 representatives. You can vote for less, you can't vote for more, but you should probably vote for the most because this is a single transferable vote system.
Yeah, so you know what I found disappointing was that a lot of these ballots came out. I know who was that? CO2 put out their ballot that they wanted all their people to vote for, and they're not. It's not full. They don't vote for 10 people. So you'll see some people say, "Hey, here's my ballot. Here's who I'm voting for," but they voted for only like 8 people. Like, why are we not filling that up?
I guess it leaves it open for personal choice in the end. So the CO2 ballot is the Judge, Sullen Decimus, Jintan, Innominate, Steve Renukin, Capri Sun Crafts Foods, Faulty 7, and Scarus Black.
Yeah, which is actually pretty close to mine. It's pretty close to a lot of other ballots that I've seen.
I mean, those are pretty name recognition candidates. Some of them are returning from CSM 11.
Yeah, so you know when the final CSM list came out and I was going over it, and you know as I listened to some of the interviews, there's a lot of people. I'd say more than half of the candidates I had never ever heard of before. Like period. Like they're not on. They don't have blogs. They don't have streams. They don't have YouTube channels. Like nothing. Like who are these people?
I mean, in another small block group list here, we get the NCPL, Botlord, and anyone else they'll pay to vote for them. Number 1 is Vince, Dancool 1001, Killer B, Sullen Decimus, NC 1709, and Sort Dragon. They only had 6 on the PL list. Those are the major blocks that have been released so far, and there's been some individuals who posted who they voted for.
Yeah, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I've been.
Oh.
Hello?
Some weird things going on. Mind Clash plans on posting our ballots. We'll probably do it tomorrow.
Am I still coming through? I feel like I'm not.
You are coming through. Yep.
Oh, freaking perfect. Anyway, so yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised. Rix Javix threw in some support for me, as well as Ashtarothi. I know my alliance director also put out the ballots with me on it, and Toxic Yakin, because we happen to both be in the same alliance. So that was cool. You know, I don't know. You know, this might not be the year of Kale, but damn it, I tried, and I think it'll set me up pretty good for next year, if anything. But I'm still feeling confident.
Those are mixed messages.
It's not a mixed message. It's a very Trump. That's a Trump answer.
It's a very Trump answer.
I gotta say, I was surprised that I managed to pull in a low ticket number on the Imperium ballot.
Yeah, you're doing well, man. All kinds of people got you on their ballot, man. You and Commander A's. I think more people are actually wanting to see some high sec tickets this year than previous years. Might be the year of high sec, man.
Well, it definitely needs the representation. You know, I mean, realistically, it's kind of in the self-interest of nullsec to have a high sec candidate, or at least have the representation or positive representation, and have a healthy high sec in the end.
You know, here's a question. Does the Chinese server do they have like a CSM?
No voting in China.
Yeah, right. No vote. What was I thinking? Yeah, it's just I'd say most of the people you're looking at in the ballot, they're all European, Russian, and American. I don't think there's very many, Japanese, Korean, or anything like that.
A bunch of Australians.
But yeah, a bunch of Australians on Dinosaur Island. But yeah, not much over on the other side of the world there.
Now, Commander A's, you've been chasing and pushing the high sec ticket along with Roden and oh man, the spear's going straight to my head.
Toxic.
Toxic,
Yakon.
right? Suetonia, did you chase down any ticket positions? I know you fall on the goon ticket, but
Not particularly. I don't think I'm on any ticket aside from the Goonswarm ticket, and I'm a pretty low number on the Goonswarm ticket. I think I'm number 6, which means I probably won't get any support from it. If you look at the, I think if you look at the the audit from last year, nothing after the 3rd position got anything from Goonswarm. So I think if you're rank 4 or lower, then you're probably not going to get any support from that ticket.
Did you run last year by chance?
No, this is my first time running.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if there was drama associated with it, but notably, God damn it, Zenuria is left off the goon ticket.
Bom bom bom.
See, that surprisingly is not any big news to me. In the circles that I've been talking with, it comes across as though Arth and a lot of the leadership don't necessarily like Zenuria, at least from what I've seen.
Well, he's definitely a different kind of gameplay compared to Aerith and some of the other goon leadership.
Yeah, I do think that's also affected the way that he's campaigned throughout the year. For Zenuria specifically, I thought that he thought that he was going to get a high ticket number and be a sure in off the Goonswarm kind of spillover, and I don't necessarily think that he took his campaigning seriously because he thought he had it in the bag, and I think that's going to come back and bite him here.
Yeah, I think Zenuria is probably going to not get too many votes as well, because I think last year Zenuria was the anti-candidate, right? He was the candidate that instead of abstaining, if you wanted to give the middle finger to CCP or whatever, because I remember reading a lot of threads on Reddit telling people to vote for Zenuria to, I guess inflict him, being the word used, onto the community. But Zenuria actually turned out to be a pretty mellow guy. But I don't think he has that anti-candidate role anymore, because like CSM at 10, I think was like a bad year for the CSM, and there was a lot of concerns about whether after CSM 11 there would actually be another CSM. But then CSM 11 turned out quite well, and I think a lot of people are now really positive about the CSM again. So I'm not sure if people will vote for Zenuria as the anti-candidate anymore either.
I think saying that CSM 10 was a bad year doesn't do it any justice. That was rough.
Yeah, CSM 11 was definitely way more productive.
Oh yeah,
way easier to talk to. There was no.
They integrated very well together. I mean, I think they did an amazing job.
There were some candidates who definitely burned out midway through their session, but I mean, at least it's not like a 10 where there were some like completely AFK candidates.
Yeah.
Like, it's understandable if something in real life comes up and you have to step back, but I don't think that's what happened. I think they just burned out, stopped caring, walked away.
For sure. Man, I don't know about you, Murda, but I don't think we really have a whole lot to talk about on this episode.
No. I mean, I'd love to hear why we should vote for these two a little bit more, but
Yeah. Let's. I think we could do that. Start wrapping it up with that. So, Satonia, we haven't had you on here before, so if you want to give us a little spiel about what it is that you intend to do in the CSM and uh, how you're gonna change New Eden.
Well, I guess I'm mostly kind of like a balance candidate, if that's like a position. I guess that's what people label you as. I guess I'm very similar to Gorski Carr and Mr. Hyde in the past. I have a lot of ideas about game design and balance. I know that's not particularly what the CSM is about, but I've been able to change a lot of things in EVE through my blog and through my platform, as well as being on the Tactical Destroyer focus group, etc., and talking to new players. So I kind of just want to take that to the next level and be on the CSM.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of like what kind of my ideas are. Like I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of input, and I know I'm not a expert player, and I don't know a lot about certain mechanics or this and that, but I think I have ideas, and I want to kind of lend my voice and pull the voice of the community. So, I mean, I don't have a platform particularly. Besides, I want to run for everybody and be a voice for everyone.
I think there's a misconception towards some CSM candidates, and I think some of it's based out of reality, that some of the CSM members just don't undock. They don't fly in spaceships. They don't play the game. They don't have to deal with what they see as a line member, but we see as the game experience. So it's refreshing to have candidates like yourself, Satonia, and A's and Judge and Jintan, guys who are actually out there flying their ships, playing the game. Kale, you don't play the game. Don't even.
You're right. I haven't played it all this week. I'm terrible.
I'm gonna go check your kill board.
Don't do that.
See, I'm not a huge fan of the kill board shaming approach, because there are certain playstyles in EVE that don't necessarily fall under the purview of kills racked up on a kill board.
I'm going to yours next.
Thanks, A's. I appreciate you.
I mean, considering my industrial background and the fact that I run an alliance, I'm in space a lot running operations, but a lot of those operations might not be PvP specific. So, although I'm undocking and in the spirit of the idea of being in space, I might not have a lot of kills recently.
I will accept your corporation's kills.
And that is a corporation of 1. So
shit.
Yeah. So needless to say, I do also mass murder. So there's that. But I suppose it's my turn for pitches here.
Pitch it, man.
All right. So simply put, there's a foundation of EVE. That foundation is HiSec. Everybody starts there and then builds their sandcastle. It is vitally important that we elect somebody to represent that effectively. If you look at the roadmap moving forward, the things that are changing, new player experience. We need somebody and a candidate that has taken the time to work with new players in the game and can actually affect change and show who and what needs are out there. On top of that, building resources for those people outside of just the in-game mechanics. Additionally, if you want to consider me on an industry platform, I've run moon mining towers to the tune of 25 at least. There was a crazy number that I added up all of the towers that I've anchored over my career, and it's just absurdly crazy high. I have experience with T2 industry, and a big thing that is coming up is the moon mining changes with drilling platforms this fall. That'll most certainly be something that the CSM has active representation in altering and figuring out how that is actually going to come into play. So having somebody with the experience and know-withal when it comes to that and its market effects is going to be huge in the coming days. So with that, if you're interested in a healthy game overall, with somebody who has the experience from FCing to industry to dealing with new players on a day-to-day basis. Commander Ace. Thank you.
I love it.
It's good. It's good. Good. Aria, people care about killboards, okay? Don't. I don't want to get down this bandwagon train if killboards don't matter.
I don't think killboards are all that important. I think killboards are kind of important in the sense that they show if you're active or not. But I don't care about stats or anything. The people who have the best stats are the biggest care bears, like Marmite Collective with like 3 Logi Ords and a Linkle, etc.
Right.
Guys,
Damn.
my EPing is important to me.
Oh, and so A's has released as well. See, we're some good candidates releasing our stats.
See, Opus Magnum, E-Bunging News wanted us to release our tax returns, or maybe our ballots. It might have been tax returns.
It might have been something else entirely.
I don't know. It got a little bit silly in Discord earlier.
Anywho, so what do you think, guys? That about wraps it up for this week.
It does.
So let's start moving to shout out. So Tonya, you've never been here before. So usually what we do at the end of our show is we talk about a quick 30-second elevator pitch of something that we've been listening to, whether it's a different podcast, audiobook, music, or maybe a cool new game or something, and why you're playing it and why we should play it or why we should listen to it as well.
All right. Well, I don't really have any. I haven't really been doing anything in the past week, aside from playing Eve and doing CSM stuff. Guess I'll give a shout out to all the cool people who've been running podcasts and CSM events like yourselves and the Statecraft dudes, Jeff Rader, as well as the Even T, Mana Rule. And I know Asher Toffee has been doing some interviews too. I didn't get a chance to interview with him, but all the guys like this are doing a good service for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Astaroth, been doing it. Jeff Rader, I mean, even though he didn't really do all of the back end work, but nonetheless, he's hosting it. Definitely a shout out for Rivra. She was really putting all those debates together. So good on her.
Yeah, she was part of Statecraft. I shout out Jeff Rader, but I really meant to shout out her.
Yeah. But yeah, what about you, Ace?
So I actually have 2. First shout out is Eve Prosper, all your market and data analysis needs for predicting where things are going to go in the coming weeks. You can find them at Eve Prosper. And lastly, I do also want to thank Matterall and Asherothi and as well the entire Statecraft crew for running the awesome coverage that they have throughout the campaign. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everything pans out on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was on one of the debates yesterday, did that yesterday afternoon, so that was good. I wish I could have gone on with Asherothi. I mean, he was trying, like, he hit me up every other day, like, hey man, you available? Hey man, you free? And it just didn't work out for me. But yeah, they did a lot of work. Definitely shout out to those guys. It can't be easy.
No, it's not easy running these shows and getting people out. We appreciate all these guests who make it on air and make the time, and without you guys, these shows don't really happen.
Yep. So anywho, yeah, so just a little shout out for me. Man, just definitely want to thank my wife who's been putting up with me, trying to write more articles and working on these podcasts and taking time out of my weekend. So, I appreciate her being patient with me on that. As far as elevator pitch, I've listened to so much podcasts, and now I've been upping my speed to like about 1.8 times normal speed just to try and digest it all in a quicker fashion. I actually ran out of podcasts to listen to over the weekend, and I ended up starting to listen to Stuff You Didn't Learn in History Class by HowStuffWorks.com. That's pretty cool stuff, man. So if you're looking for a 30-minute little history lesson on something you might not have learned in high school, check that out.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of their other podcasts. They're good.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out the Talking in Station guys. Even though they don't mention our show, I appreciate that they are out there doing what they do. I never steal good ideas from them. Thank you for making a good product, Matterall, and all those people over at INN.
Do you want me to talk to them? You know I work there, right? I can just give them a little nudge, like, hey, maybe you guys should mention us on your show.
Where don't you work?
Eve News 24 is where I don't work. I work everywhere else but there.
I know an editor there. Do you want me to talk to him?
No, I think I do too much work. Anyways, yeah. So also, real quick shout out to Magnus Carell, who's still patroning us on the Patreon. We actually have another Patreon supporter. I don't know if he necessarily wanted me to reveal his name. Let's just say his name's Jeff. So whoever that is, in Eve, thank you very much for the $2 pledge. I love it. Soon as I figure out how to transfer that money into like my PayPal or something, I don't know, I'll get a Plex and we'll do a raffle on that.
He could totally have number 2 top fan of the show. We'll work on something.
Yeah, something. Jeff, you're number 2. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Obviously, go vote. I mean,
Yes. Go freaking vote. Even if it's not for anybody here, go vote. It's the
And
most
you-
important thing.
And use all 10 slots. I mean, damn. Don't be like my one friend, in real life friend, who sent me a message, hey man, I voted for you, and he took a screenshot of his voting page and it was just me. And I'm like, well, thanks, guy. Like, you couldn't have filled in the rest of the 9 people.
doing a disservice there.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're checking us out on iTunes, whatever it is that you're listening to us. Tune in, Stitcher, whatever you name it, we're on there. Please leave us a review. I'd love to check it out. Also, check us out on patreon.com/mindclash if you feel so inclined to give us $1 or $2. That's just going to go right back into the coffer so we can do Plex giveaways, or maybe we'll blow up Murdud or something. I don't know.
Catch me if you can, Kappa.
Yeah, so make sure you check out our website, mindclash.live, and join us on our Discord server where we talk about stuff all throughout the week. It's always a hoot in there, and maybe we can get you on the show next week.
Because, oh yes, it's going to be nice to not talk about CSM. Nothing against CSM, but oh man, it's going to be good to talk about not CSM.
Yep. All right, so from myself, Merdud, Commander A's, and Suetonia, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.